Hello and welcome, guys. My name is It's Ordinary Guy, or Unreal Theory, and today I just wanted to bring you guys a little bit of a tips and tricks or something, just a little bit of extra information for the IW beta. I've already played it on the PS4, but for anybody who's playing it on the open beta for the PS4 or who's playing it on the Xbox, I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of information that might help you make a little bit more of your experience. So the most important thing and the biggest mistake I think a lot of people on the PS4 side made was they saw a cool weapon variant and they spent all their salvage on it right away. And I'll explain how that works. So you start the game with a little bit of salvage and some keys. I think they did that just so we could experiment a little bit, because it does take some time to earn salvage just through in-game, and that is how you buy the variant weapons in this game. So in Advanced Warfare, you could only get them from supply drops. There was no other way to get them until later on when they made it so you could get them from Master Prestiges. But in this game, you can progress along any variant chain. So there's multiple different variant levels. So rare, legendary, epic, for every weapon in the game. You can progress along that chain as you choose. You don't have to get random chances of getting weapons or whatever. You can work towards specific weapons with specific traits at any time. But the problem is, when you start with 500 salvage, which, okay, that's awesome. So the first variant, I'm not sure what it's called, but it's worth 200 salvage to upgrade any of the base weapons to the first variant, and you unlock 2 traits with this variant. Now the problem was, a lot of people starting on PS4 decided, oh, I have 500 salvage, let me just buy 2 of these, so now I only have 100 salvage left and I have 2 of the base variants. The problem there, though, is that the next version, so the rare version, is worth 540 salvage, the legendary version is worth 1.6k salvage, and the epic version is worth 3.6k salvage. So now, since you wasted your 500 salvage, now you have to work that much harder if you want to progress along to the rare or the legendary chain. And some of the weapons, you can't get a tactical nuke, or I think it's a deatomizer bomb. You can't get that unless you have the specific attachment. In the beta, to get the guns with the specific attachment costs 200 salvage, plus 540 salvage, plus 1600 salvage. And the reason for that is, to progress to later weapons or later like epics and rares or legendaries in the game, you have to buy the ones before them. So to get a legendary, you have to buy a rare. To get an epic, you have to buy a legendary. So that's why it costs 200 plus 540 plus 1600 to get the deatomizer trait on one of your weapons. Now another thing is, you get daily bonuses if you have a season's pass. So if you have a season's pass, you have a chance of either getting keys, which you can use on supply drops, which give you a random chance, kind of like Advanced Warfare, of getting random weapons, or you can get salvage, which you can either get 1,000 or 1,500 salvage as your bonus. And this is really, really helpful, and it helps you to get, a couple of different variations, so you can try a couple different things during the beta. So the main reason I'm telling you this is so that you try a bunch of different weapons first, and decide whichever weapons you like and you enjoy, and then progress along those chains. Also, because you get free keys and you get free keys while you're playing, if you're waiting until you figure out which weapons you like, it may be 10 matches, it may be 20 matches, it may be 2 days into the beta, then you also have a chance of perhaps getting something that you would have spent your salvage on in supply drops. So you can unlock epic variants and stuff through supply drops, so it just gives you more of a chance to maximize your potential with your salvage and get exactly what you want out of the beta. Now that I've given you guys a little bit of a heads up about weapon variants and salvage and how to maximize that to have the best experience possible, I want to shift gears now and talk about the actual play style of the game. I've seen a lot of people, big streamers, big YouTubers, who absolutely said they hated the game, it was terrible the first time that they played it, or like the first day that they played it, or whatever, when they were playing poorly because they didn't adjust their playstyle. But then as soon as they adjusted their playstyle, they got used to the game. 2 days in, 3 days in, whatever, they started to get good gameplays, they started to do well. All of a sudden now, oh, it's not such a bad game. So it's funny how well you're doing at a game affects how you think about the game in general. Like a lot of times, even in Black Ops 3, when people are doing poorly, they say, oh, this is a terrible game, all this game sucks. The game didn't change from when you're doing poorly to when you dropped 100 plus kills. It was how you played the game that differed. So in IW, the most important thing that I can tell you is play it slower. The reason that I say this is because the time to kill is insanely fast. Especially, this is amplified by the fact that SMGs are the best weapons so far, I believe, in the game, the most diverse, because most of the maps in the beta, now we do get Terminal this time around, and we might get one extra map. So I haven't played Terminal, that might be an AR map. But all of the other maps are very, very well suited to SMGs. And the SMGs will kill you very, very quickly because they shoot very, very fast. And the time to kill is so minuscule. It's so tiny that you die instantly sometimes. And I don't want you guys to hate the game simply because you're dying too fast. So what you can do is you can use an AR, an SMG, whatever weapon type you prefer, but just play a little bit slower. There are boosters and stuff in the game. They're not quite as quick as Black Ops 3, but the game does play very well positionally. Now, if you're trying to go on streaks, if you're just trying to do better, if you're just trying to enjoy the game more, start off slow and then work your way from there. If you're running around with a chicken with your head cut off, you are going to die so quickly, especially in TDM or any game modes really at this point, because the spawns are not finite, like they're not set in stone, so people can spawn in some pretty crazy positions. So just take the chance, take the opportunity to just play slow, relax, calm down, don't go for 100 plus gameplays right away or quad feeds right away or anything like that, and just take it slow and work your way into playing a little bit faster run and gun style. Now, another really important thing right off the start are the combat rigs. Honestly, right off the start, right at the beginning, when you have nothing unlocked, you haven't unlocked any other chains for the combat rigs, you need to start with Synaptic. And the reason that you need to start with Synaptic, the robot guy, is because he has dual-wield SMGs that can cross-map people, and you can easily get your score streaks, all of your score streaks, your starting score streaks, by simply just pulling out this specialist and getting 8 kills with it. And that is not even, it's not even that difficult to get 8 kills with it, because it is extremely powerful. I'm not going to say overpowered because it is a beta, but it is extremely powerful. Now from there you can branch out and use whatever you want, but I highly recommend starting with Synaptic at the start to give yourself the best advantage possible and to get the most XP as fast as you possibly can. Now, another thing I wanted to quickly touch on was the fact that I've seen a couple of videos on YouTube of people who played the game early at COD XP, YouTubers, and they were saying that the grenades were extremely powerful and you need to use grenades on all your classes. I completely disagree for this beta. Now, in the build that they played with everything available with black hole grenades and all that kind of stuff, that might have been the case, but there are no black hole grenades available in the beta. And the reason that I say that you don't need to play with them is they take a considerable amount of time to use each grenade. So unless you're running around a corner knowing that you're going to use the grenade, I would not recommend just whipping it out and trying to get a kill with it or whatever, right? But I just wanted to let you guys know that you can use the extra slot for the grenade and the tactical to try and just put more attachments on your weapons or more perks or things like that. Anyways, guys, I hope this helped you guys out a little bit, and I hope to see you guys in the Xbox beta.